Okay, well, let's make a start. We've got loads of questions. So welcome, everyone. This is office hours. This is our first office hours of 2023. So welcome back. Thanks for joining us. If this is your first session, you can listen in, or you might have already posted a question before you've come on the webinar. So that's the idea. We go through these format. Well, we're answering the questions that you have submitted prior to coming on. Some of you will ask questions as we go, and we'll try and get to those if we have time as well. But yeah, office hours really runs where me and Kevin will answer your questions and try and give you some tips and get you through whatever you're trying to do. Or if there's problems you're hitting with WordPress or OptimizePress or whatever it is, we will do our best. My name is David. I do the content and webinars and some courses and loads of stuff here at OptimizePress. I've been using it since version 1. Kev is the same. He heads up our support, and he's usually, you've probably seen us both, or especially Kevin, around our Facebook group and stuff. So we've both been using OptimizePress since the early days. So you're in safe hands when it comes to knowing what to do with the platform. If you can, just give us a little bit of your time. We'll run for about an hour. Turn off your devices unless you're taking notes or something like that. You'll learn as you go. People will probably ask questions that you may have wanted to ask before and then forgot about, or something might trigger a memory of a problem you've tried to tackle and left, or so just be aware. If you can give us your attention, that's much appreciated. You can submit questions. Like I say, we'll mark those as questions and we'll try and get to them. So if you are on the desktop, it kind of looks like that. Chat box is over on the right-hand side, and you'll see the screen. The screen I will set in a minute to full screen, so it might come through slightly bigger. But yeah, you've got a chat box there. You can message us direct if you don't want a public chat as well. So that's all good. Some of you do often private message us. So we have about... Guys, loads of questions. I think it was like 20 or something and more questions. I've pulled up quite a lot of them. Let's make a start. Really, we go through, we'll share the screens as we go. We'll switch back from slides to usually the platform. So if we'll jump inside of OptimizePress, you can see what we're doing. If we're trying to answer a question that's related to something which we can show you, that's generally how it works. And yeah, we're going to run for about an hour. We are 6 minutes past 8. Let's see what the first question is. And like I say, I can keep Kev on his toes for this one, I think. So we'll see how we go. We have quite a lot of payment gateway questions I saw tonight, by the way, Kevin. So hopefully some of them are slightly different. Let's go. This from Alex. I don't know if Alex is on. Let's have a look. So we have got different payment gateways. So can I receive payment with cryptocurrency with WooCommerce as a payment gateway? And that's from Alex. Kev, I'm going to let you take that one because I know we can't with OptimizePress yet do crypto. I don't know if you know any plugins.
With OptimizePress, we just take the Stripe and PayPal, and within Stripe, I think there's something in Stripe that will let you do that, but we don't have that integrated with our checkouts plugin yet. As far as WooCommerce goes, I honestly haven't really messed with it lately, so I'm not really sure if they do cryptocurrency or not. But if you want, I'm not sure if you're asking whether the checkouts plugin has it or if you have to use WooCommerce. If they do have it, WooCommerce probably would be a way to do that. I'm not sure what you're taking payments for, what you want to accomplish after that sale in WooCommerce. If you want to add somebody to the Mentor plugin, you could probably use Zapier or some kind of webhook to do that. If you
I just done a quick Google there, and it comes up a few crypto plugins for WooCommerce. Yes, we don't. You might be able to get a payment crypto plugin that works with WordPress, and then it might.
The only thing I have learned about cryptocurrency in the past couple of years is if I put money into it, I'll lose it. So that's the extent of my knowledge on that.
So on that note, we will move on to the next question. That's on that sore point. Right. We'll go on. Yeah, so Alex, try it out. There's definitely plugins. We just don't do it with OptimizePress yet. Not saying we're not going to. We might end up, if it's in Stripe, there's a high chance we would enable it like we do with Apple Pay and Google Pay. It might be a case of switching it on. I think when crypto's down, everyone just kind of forgets it. But it's still, people still want to pay for stuff with it. So yeah, and it also might be, you should jump in the WooCommerce forums or even ask them. They might have a specific one. I can add people into your site. Okay, let's go. Any updates on the Meta Pixel and API conversion tool you are planning to release? That's the first question. Will it be able to handle TikTok pixels as well? That's the second one. And will it be multi-site compatible, from William? So, Kev, I will let you take this one. I know there's a little bit of chat about it earlier. I don't know if you know anything further. I think we're referring to the Facebook pixel when we say Meta Pixel. Yeah, it's obviously Facebook, isn't it?
Yeah, so that feature, as far as, I mean, I just call it Facebook Pixel. I guess it's the same thing as Meta
Bookface,
since they changed their name. But yeah, we have this under, if you go into OptimizePress and go to tracking.
Okay, I can do that.
Let me see. Yeah, it's under tracking. So you can put your Facebook pixel. I can share my screen and just show those options.
I was racing you to it. Yeah, I was then going to switch my screen. I'm just changing over monitors here, and I'll flick over. Unless you want to do it. You're going to take control, yeah? Go for it.
Yep. Okay. Just 1 second here. All right, here we go. So under OptimizePress and tracking, we have Facebook settings here. You can put your pixel ID, and there's quite a lot of things here that, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not really very experienced at all in Facebook ads or anything. So this stuff's a little bit over my head. I think David probably knows more about that than me, but as far as these settings go, you'll just want to turn on what you want. There's quite a bit here. I think we've even added onto this since we released it about a month or two, maybe 3 months ago. And then for Facebook events, you could turn these on or off. I think by default they're turned on. So you can track things like an opt-in forms, contact forms, and checkout forms. I believe that's what all this is set up for. Now, as far as TikTok goes, or any of those other things that Facebook is part of, that is owned by Facebook or whatever, I think we may look into adding some of that stuff in the future, but right now it's just limited to Facebook.
Yeah, so they won't. And is it multi-site compatible? I'm not really sure what they mean by that, because I think if your pixels are going to be tracking across different sites,
well,
you can create a different pixel for each site, aren't we? So I don't. Let me just jump into them.
As far as it being multi-site compatible, I want to say yes. It's not something that I know that has been tested, but basically each site within a WordPress multi-site would have its own site URL.
Yeah, its own pixel.
So
then
what that would be tracking is those URLs and the conversions and stuff on those. So when the pages load, all that stuff is going to load with the page. So that would just be in there. So I don't think there's really any making it work with multi-site or not. I just think it's there when the pages load, so it'll work.
Okay, cool. I think, yeah, I'm not sure if, I'm trying to think when the pixels, we used to add them before they updated the pixel. But I wasn't sure if you could use it on multiple sites then, and then it just tracked the URLs and then it switched sites. So, but I think in the way we've got it set up, you had a different site. I personally would set a different pixel for every site. Wouldn't try and use the same one.
Definitely.
So yeah, there you go, William. So we have, there are plans. I don't think there is stuff for a sort of TikTok pixel tracking as well, but we've got no set future time date for something like that. But there is talk of it. You can put in like your conversion API info and things, and you can track where you're sending data to Facebook. So that's just a techie one. So that's quite a new feature, isn't it, Kev, that we've just pushed out? And let me switch back to my screen.
I think we're still working on some of the documentations as well, but
right, let's go to there. And wait till that pulls through. Okay, next question. I've gone to full screen mode, so I will try and saves me switching between the window of the Keynote and then my screen. So this is from Janie. She says, I haven't got started building a blog yet. Still collecting ideas, refining my target market. However, I'm a little blurry on how WordPress and OptimizePress interface. Okay, so I'm assuming with that one, it's more like, how you do the both together. So with OptimizePress will start. You can run it alongside any other blog themes. If you go into your site, go down to appearances here, and you go to themes, you might have any other theme installed. OptimizePress will work alongside any other theme because there's a plugin. However, you can use the Smart Theme R theme. You can enable that and get that running on your site. So that'll just be a blog. The way I try and look at this if I was setting up a blog and trying to understand how to use both, think of them as sort of two separate entities, because OptimizePress will work with any other site, like, or any other theme. And then you can use OptimizePress to build your pages and your funnels and, membership sites, things like that. And then you can use your blog where you publish your content to drive traffic to those pages. So really, when it's set up in your site, it really depends how you're using your blog. Your blog might be your main page that people land on. So when they land on your site, they're going to be seeing your content and your most recent articles. However, you might have a home page, like a website style page, and then you might link through to your blog. So one of the features we have with OptimizePress is the ability to turn on your blog header and footer of the theme. So if you look at this theme here, it's got a header and it's probably got a footer. And if you had a custom one as well, it'd probably still have a header and footer for that. So what you can do when you've got OptimizePress up and running is the ability to turn on your current header and footer, and then have OptimizePress function on the inside, of the header and footer. So you can still get the advantages of using the builder and building your landing pages, but you keep that consistency in the navigation throughout your site. And to do that, that's probably the most important thing to test when you are wanting to have a blog running and also use OptimizePress. So when you go into the page builder, we have some template options that you have to switch. And one of them is called full page, and the other one is, I'll let it load up and show you. So let's let this pull through. Yes, you want to switch your so you can design any page. Doesn't matter what page you're using OptimizePress, you can design a new one, and you can change it any time to show the blog header and footer. So let's pray that we get this page open. And don't know what we're doing. Whenever I go live and share my screen, I think it's I always have this experience, usually on Zoom calls as well. Let's
Yeah, that happens to me a lot
I
too.
don't know if it's something to do with the video that bogs down WordPress. It's whenever I have a video, whenever I'm recording or sharing my screen, I get slow. It's actually not even just OptimizePress; it's slow website. So we'll get there in a minute. I'll leave this open, so I haven't got to keep opening it. So yeah, what's it called, Kev? Is it full header and footer, full width header and footer? The template? I can't remember what the template's called, or full width.
OP3 full width template, I think.
So here we are. Don't tell me I've opened a blank page because I've deleted everything or something like that. There we go. Phew, coming through. So look, here's this is a page, that's actually what I've got in top of the header at the moment. But what we can do, we can go to page settings on the left here. Actually, we go like that, go back into settings, and I want to go to page settings. So I'm choosing settings at the top, page settings, and you've got this option. So blank template, what it says here on the left, if I zoom in a bit, blank template is where it uses just the OptimizePress template. So it pulls out and strips out any WordPress code and any other plugin code and all that rubbish that gets added into your pages. So this is a completely sort of script-free template. That's why they run so fast, because we don't pull in all the rubbish from WordPress and all the other plugins that you have. If you want to put in your header and footer, you choose the option here that says full width template. And what that does go and pull in all of your scripts and things from your WordPress site and all your plugins, and it loads all those on the page as well. let's let this load up. So what it also does, you'll see in a minute, is pulls my header and the footer of the theme that I've got installed onto the page. And you can switch that at any time. So I can go back to the other page if I wanted to and choose the blank template, and it'll remove the header and footer. So that's really the main thing if you are looking to blog. Was that, I think it was, let me switch this out. It was Janie. So yeah, if you're looking to run a blog alongside OptimizePress, that is the only thing to look out for, is be able to switch your blog theme to show the header and footer, or build your landing pages, whatever lead capture page you've got, and then use your content to drive traffic to those pages throughout your blog posts. See if this is going to load up. There we go. So what we should see is the header and footer at the top. I don't know if I've got any navigation set in my template. So there you go. At the top, you've got my header. You can see a smart theme. I don't have any navigation set on my WordPress template. If we go down the bottom, we will see the footer as well for the smart theme that I've got in. And I'm using, I think this is the 4-column widget layout across the bottom here. And it's pulled in my default smart theme logo as well. And you can see the copyright text. So all this can be edited inside the theme options setting of my site, and I can always just switch it back at any time. So that's the main thing to think of, if you are going to be blogging with any other theme or using the smart theme. So it just keeps that consistency across your landing pages. It has a navigation. You have your header and footer on your pages. Let's let that load in the background, and we will go on to the next question. There we go. So Naomi says, I love Mentor and checkouts in the suite plan. Brilliant. Only one thing is missing to make it great is the possibility to add my own affiliate program. Are you planning to include it soon? Kev, do we have an affiliate question? Let me just check.
Well, we don't have an affiliate platform of our own, and we are working on a big update to the checkouts plugin that will make it where we integrate, I think, with some of the affiliate platforms out there. I think right now it's not really possible to capture the data from the checkouts orders to do that. I'm not really quite sure what's necessary to make that work.
Yeah, what have you used any plugins?
That's something our developers.
Is there any affiliate plugins you've used?
I mean, there's not really any that I know that work right now with the checkouts plugin. It's something that they're going to have to add in.
Yeah, we don't have it built into OptimizePress. So yeah, affiliate programs are quite complicated in terms of tracking and using different referral links and trying to build it directly into our platform. We haven't done it yet. There used to be a good one, WP. I think it was WP Affiliate was a good plugin where you could build and run it yourself. And obviously there are some carts, different shopping carts. If you're using one externally, like a third-party one, which you're integrating with your OptimizePress site, that might have an affiliate program like ThriveCart. They have it built in. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're planning to put one into OptimizePress yet, are we? We're going to roll out with the checkouts, those kind of features, and then I don't know if there'll be affiliate programs. It's quite a complex setup. I think it's one of those things that I think the people who kind of are trying to build affiliate plugins, that that's all they do. They don't do anything else. They do affiliate plugins really well, and I guess we just leave them to it. And if we can use a plugin, Naomi, I would search for different plugin affiliate plugins out there.
Yeah, I think we're gonna integrate with like WP Affiliate or Affiliate WP. One, I don't remember the exact name of it, but then there's some other ones too. So I mean, it's something that we're working on. I don't know the specifics of how that's going to work. So just bear with us. We'll get it updated.
So I'm guessing if that's an integration, people need to have that plugin and integrate it with our OptimizePress site or something like that. I guess it's going to be
yeah. I don't think we're planning on building our own affiliate platform, at least not in the short term. There's a lot of other things that we need to focus on right now, like more membership features, more funnel features, more checkout features, more builder features, other things. I mean, affiliate plugins and a program to have for your site is important, but OptimizePress has a focus on being good at what it does now, which it is, but we want to add more features, and integrating with affiliate platforms and plugins is what is being worked on as far as I'm aware.
There we go. Yeah, I've be good to see how it comes out eventually. It is a popular one. We've been asked it loads and loads of times. I don't know if I pronounced that name. I think that name is actually French. It's Noemi. So I do apologize if I said Naomi. I don't know if you pronounced it differently in French. Let's have a look at the next question from Elizabeth. How to add a checkbox to accept what is written next to the checkbox? For example, agree with the terms, conditions, agree with the subscriber to a mailing list. I think we're referring to the GDPR options here, I'm guessing, Kev. So how do we add a checkbox to accept the terms and conditions or whatever is written in the text box inside of the site? I can jump in. I've got it open here, so I could go into the builder.
Yeah, so you would just turn on the GDPR features, even if you don't really necessarily need it specifically for GDPR. If you want to have terms and conditions checkbox on your opt-in form, then you could have that there. Now, we don't have this on checkout forms right now, but I think we are looking into maybe adding the ability to add custom fields there. I'm not sure if that'll be a checkbox or not, but I think Dave's going to show us here how to turn that feature on with the opt-in form.
In there probably, so let's just jump back. I don't know if it will let me with Demio. I've got a feeling it's not going to let me on here because it's going to skip that. Okay, let's go back. Just try one of my other integrations. Don't know if this one's up to date. Does it work on the default form? I've got a feeling it doesn't.
I don't recall right now.
I'm trying to think. I haven't got an integration where it's going to.
I think you have to have an integration.
I don't think it's going to work for this one either. It's going to skip. Let's just go. Yeah. Okay. What I will do is I'll just try the default. I need to hook up a different. Let's see if we got this one. No, skip that. Yeah, there's an option when you get to GDPR. There's an option here, Elizabeth, that gives you the checkbox. You turn on the GDPR options, and it then will give you the checkbox, and you can then edit the text. It'll tell you if that'll probably be the confirmed option. Let's see if this one. Skipping that one as well. Look. That's odd. I'm wondering why it's skipping that GDPR. I don't have whatever webinar. Maybe it's just not an option for that. When did I last use HubSpot on here? Let's just see if we can get through. Let's put first name. Oh, okay, this is looking better. Nope, it skipped it again. That's not.
Let me share my screen. I think I can
go for it. Yeah, if you've got an integration, mine got extra fields here. I'm just going to see if I can get an extra one set up.
See if my active campaign works.
I mean, you can add a checkbox as an extra field as well, but that'd have to go into a custom field inside of your account. So if I just choose website. Yeah, you've got it, yeah.
Here we go. I got the GDPR here. So basically, you could show it to all visitors and then just use one of the consent options. And then you could even use it. Depends on the integration. You can use a tag or a field for the GDPR. And I'll just use a test tag. and it'll tag it if they decline or accept it. You just use different tags or fields depending on what your integration is. And then when you add that, you'll be able to edit the form to choose the text you want. And then if you highlight the text, you could even link it to your policy that you want them to agree to. So that's how that works. It's pretty straightforward.
There you go, Elizabeth. So you can, if you're doing it through GDPR, I've just built one as well, just using the extra fields, which I'll show you. Let's see if this works. Let me switch back to my screen. So you can do it with extra fields. It doesn't have to be done with the GDPR option as well. Let's switch back to there. You should see it in a moment. So I've just gone through and close this down. So I added an extra field called, I think I've just named this one terms actually. Let's turn this to white so we can see it. So I've added two options. So if you just wanted one option, let's just go up and let this change. And then I'll show you the options I put inside of the actual form as well here. This is when it's not going to like me, isn't it? It's hanging something there. Let's see if it wants to. It's going to save that page. So what I've done is I've gone into the extra field options. I'll show you now. So I'll edit integration again. I just went into extra options here, extra fields, and this is my checkbox. If I click on this little cogwheel here and edit it, and I'll zoom in a bit so you can see. So I chose a field type to be a checkbox. You can have drop down or radio. I chose checkbox, and I chose the number of options I want. So if you just wanted one option, you could have it as one, and you type in all that lovely text you want it to say, like I agree to whatever it is you're doing with my email address, or whatever your terms are, or anything you want, and then you click save, and you can see it's added. You can add other fields. And then if I just go back out and go through in the background here, you might just be able to see there's two fields. It should change that to one once it's gone through this step. And that's how you can do it with extra fields as well. So you've got GDPR option, and you can, the beauty of that is that you can tag people as well based off what they choose. And then you can do it through the extra fields. That will also just put the data into a particular field inside of your site as well. Checkbox background, what's going on here? Nothing. My to apologize, my browser is running slow, so I'm just going to skip that. But that's where you do it. Hopefully that will help you, Elizabeth. Let's go on. Another one from Elizabeth. On my registration page, I use a button linked to WebinarJam, but additionally, I need to use the checkbox, same as the question one. So a similar option to what we've just had. That is. But the registration button for WebinarJam automatically opens a window to register the name and email. Then how can you add a checkbox? So that's slightly more complicated, this one. It sounds to me like you're using the WebinarJam landing page or the form inside of WebinarJam. You should be able to use the integration with OptimizePress. But okay, so what I can make out is you want to have a checkbox on your WebinarJam registration page, but right now it automatically opens. I've not played with WebinarJam recently, Elizabeth, so I don't know exactly.
It's not available in that integration to add extra fields.
So it's quite limited in terms of how the integration just allows us to pass the name and email.
Yeah, they only let us use, I think, the first name and the email.
I think when I tested and made videos on this, I couldn't do anything other than send a name and email to them. You might be able to get their script and put it into our HTML form script, Kev. Would that do the same? But I think if she's added a checkbox, but it's a button. See if you maybe you could embed their form onto our page. That might work, and you might be able to customize it a bit if you know HTML and scripts. You might be able to change the form code that way. That's the only way I think you could do it. I don't know any other ways you'll be able to customize it with our editor because of the limitations of their access, their API access to their forms. So my suggestion for that would be get the raw code of the form and try and change the HTML from the raw code. So that's probably something.
Yeah, I just checked every webinar integration, and it totally skips the extra fields and the GDPR on the form wizard there. So that means it's not available for that integration. And that would be the same for WebinarJam as well, because they're basically the same company.
Exactly, yeah. So it's same setup, just a different name, different prices. Okay, hopefully that helps, Elizabeth. Try the raw HTML code for that. Get that, and then you might be able to tweak what that checkbox and button and stuff does. So try that one. Rebecca says, I would like to create a blog. What would be the best way to do that? What would you think, Kev, right now to create a blog?
I mean, use the smart theme or any other theme you want, and just
let's open up.
Use those theme options to style your blog and just start adding blog posts. And I'm not sure. It's kind of an open-ended question. I mean, we could do a whole webinar on creating a blog
if you have content.
But basically, there's a couple of things you have to have. The first thing, if you go to pages, you'll need to create a page that's not created with OptimizePress and just name it blog.
I've probably got one here actually.
And then
usually your site, if you're installing WordPress the first time, it comes with a page called blog. You can see my one's here. Look, it says blog.
Yeah.
Let's zoom in on that.
Yeah, and that's set as the post page. And to do that, you go under the settings,
which I'll do
on the left
here.
And I think it's under reading tab.
There we go.
And then this is where you choose your site's homepage and the post page. So you could either have your homepage show your latest blog post, or you can have a specific homepage, which I recommend because you want to have an OptimizePress page as your homepage, and the blog page would be where all of your blog posts would show up at, and that's all styled under the smart theme if you're using the smart theme, and you would just go under appearance and theme options.
Yeah, so this is actually a funnel page I've got set here on this site. So this is a funnel page which was set as the home page. So when people land on my primary domain, they're going to hit the home page, and then the blog post there. So like we showed you just previously with the header and footer, that's definitely something you want to have on if you're looking to focus more around the blog. However, if you want to build also some, home page, about page, contact page, you want to come in here and set your home page in this option and change your blog post page to be the one called blog. And the theme options that Kev just mentioned are here. So this is, let that load up. This is the smart theme. And from here, you can go through and edit things like the header images, the footer images, the text that you have in the footer, the different colors, the link colors, and so on. I've just skipped back there, sorry. So you can edit all your link colors, different blog styling, different blog layouts. It's probably worth going through and actually playing around with some of this and just testing and seeing how it looks. You can see we've got different grid layouts for blogs, whether you want to have a large hero section on your blog or not have a hero section, like a big image section, different button colors and things and so on. So yeah, there's no best way to do anything or right way to do anything. The hardest bit about blogging is continuously putting out content. So that should be your first thing, is writing regularly and get a consistent flow. And then, if you're using WordPress, just get used to publishing and putting out, content and going from there. But it is such an open-ended question that we could answer that one all night. But if you want to get started, just pick a theme. If you're completely new, just use whatever comes with WordPress, the theme. If you don't want to start installing things or you're not sure what to do, just use the basic 2023 template. I don't know if there's actually a 2023 yet. It's probably still 2022 template. But use that template and then just get writing and get used to writing, and then you could build your OptimizePress landing pages to send traffic to from your blog. So that would probably be one way to get started.
Yeah, what's important to know about that too, even after you create your blog posts, if you want to switch your theme, all of your content from your blog posts will still be there after you switch themes. So you could always focus on the content first and then change your theme and the design of your blog anytime after.
Great point. That's a very good point. Yeah, because some people get so scared they're going to lose all their content. It's like, what happens if I switch my theme? I'm going to lose everything. No, your data stores in a database. The theme is just the design. It's just like a skin that you just rechange. So, okay. Will OP3 have the ability to render continuous looping GIFs as shown in this page? Let's go. I vetted these pages, so just to let you know, you're not going to get a surprise. Let's jump on this first page and see what the looping GIF is. You do many looping GIFs, Kev?
Yeah, I've actually had this question in support before because somebody couldn't get a GIF image to load properly, and it actually ended up being due to their image optimization settings in their cache plugin that broke it. But adding a GIF image on your site is possible. I mean, and it can loop. You have to consider where you actually create the GIF image at, and the settings in that program. When you export it, it needs to be a looping GIF. But once you have that, you should be able to use that in the image element without any problems. And if you do have problems, it's most likely some other plugin on your site that's causing that.
Which do you recommend for making GIFs? Any platforms? I mean, I render some actually through ScreenFlow, or I convert them.
I mean, I don't really know what the best platform is. The only GIF images I've ever really created are the ones that we've added into the support documentation, where I'd take a video of my screen and then turn it into a GIF. So I'm not quite sure where those would generally be created. I don't know.
There's a few conversion programs. ScreenFlow does them. I think CleanShot can make them as well. Some of the screenshot programs do. But you're right in what you said about the format, because some of them actually don't load properly through browsers. They don't loop. When Kev mentioned just adding it as an image, this is how you would do that if you have a GIF. So if you have a GIF, just drop it in here and test it, and you'll see if it loads. In fact, I could record one right now using CleanShot, but I'll probably end up just crashing my site and my browser or something, so I'm not going to do it. But I could test it. But this is where you would add it to test. So back to that question, how do we do it? If you've got the right format, add it as an image. Most GIFs will loop anyway, right? So there's not a looping. I've never seen a GIF that doesn't loop. They always just go back to the start and continue. They just keep going. So this is effectively just two images, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, that could be a slider too, I suppose. But I think we're looking at adding that in the future as well.
This is a really nice sales page. This is very different as well. It's nice. I don't know who this is by. So there you go. So it answers that one. Nice page. I like that. I'm going to have a look at that later. So that was from Gary. So yeah, Gary, GIFs, if you've got a loop, if you've got a GIF, just drop it into the image editor. So add your image using elements. So go to on the left plus, and you've got image, drop your image in here, and then upload your image just into the WordPress library on your site, put it in, and then save the page and preview it, and you should be seeing it loop. If it doesn't loop, then you might have to run it through some kind of GIF creator online. I know, actually, I recorded a GIF earlier today, dropped it into WhatsApp for someone, and it didn't even play in WhatsApp. So I know there's always sometimes an issue with how the GIFs are rendered. So some platforms just don't accept them. But that's how you test. Drop it in here, test it out, see if it works. If it doesn't, then you need to go back and do some other GIF rendering or something. But that image there just looks like two images. It's probably a very tiny GIF. and it is an image. We can select open image in new tab, so it is an image. So thanks, Gary. This has also actually been converted, look, to WebP formats. This is optimized as well for. That's not loading, so it actually might be 2 images, Kev, that are rotating, for example. That's not.
Yeah, it's probably
Yeah,
like
see
a
if I can get that
slider.
image again. Yeah, no, didn't get it. So you're right in what you said there. Let that go and let it change. So this is possibly 2 images in a slider, Gary, that are getting that effect. I can't get that other image, so maybe it is. I don't know. Anyway, let's look at your other question, which I saw was also about video. So a similar sort of thing is it possible to create the effect shown in the lower portion of this landing page, which appears to be a separator layered? Now, actually, I think I saw a different video to that. So let's try, see what we've got here. Thanks for the links. Obviously makes a huge difference. So let's let that page up. What was the question again? It's possible to get the effect shown on the lower portion of this landing page. So let's go on down. Again, quite a nice modern page. See what we've got. Something's going on there. Okay. Right, I'm guessing it's that. Okay, so yeah, that looks like a video. It could be a GIF. Some of the GIFs are actually getting really good. But if we right click, it's set to loop, and it says open video in new tab. So that's just a video just dropped in the page, and it might have an effect, like an image overlaid on it just to get that rounded effect. There's the video, so we know it's a video, and
Yeah, looks like a border radius was added to that top left corner.
You could download it and see how big it is. Yeah, and it's probably got, you're right, a border radius inside. Let's see if we can.
Yeah, see, and if you add a video element, you could, I think you can edit the border radius on the video. Like we can with
add
the image.
video from a URL like I've just done? I'm guessing. Let's drop this in, have a look, see if we can hack this now and show you how it's done. I have a terribly slow computer this evening. Let's go into here. Here's the URL. I'm just copying the URL actually from that. So I've just copied this URL from the video we've got here, dropped it in. I probably have to change the width, as it was tiny. So let's, this might not load actually because I need to choose externally hosted. Let's try that. There we go. Okay, so we've got a video in. We need to change some of the aspect ratios on that to get it right. I don't know if we have a portrait option actually, Kev, do we? Like I
think we added some vertical video options
9.
in there.
There we go. Look at that. Hopefully Gary's still on here, loving this. Let's move that down a bit, and border radius. So click on this border or the sort of corner options you've got here, and then you highlight. So what I'll do is I'll zoom in for this. What you do is you click on the border you want, left, right, bottom, left or right. Click on that so it goes blue, and then you drag this little slider, and we should see that video come in on the top left. Like so. I've got it at pixels. If you switch it to percent,
do percent
like that, you see it goes 50. You can actually type in more, I think, here. I'm pretty sure we could put in 100. If it doesn't let me put in 100 like that, okay, it doesn't. Go to pixels.
Yeah, 50 is the biggest it'll go, but I think the aspect ratio is still not quite right on that. But I mean, it's something that you could probably play around with, Gary, and see.
There we go. Yeah, so that's I thought we could increase that more, but we can't. So you can near enough get the effect. You could probably overlay some kind of, do some negative margin to get the buttons turned off. And I don't know what other ratios we've got there. There's another one. There you go.
That when you were on before, I think looked pretty good. try the 1-to-1 and see what
And
that
can
does.
we set it to loop and stuff? 1-to-1. Yeah, that's more square. You can have it on autoplay, so it'll just loop, or you can have it loop autoplay and then loop
as well.
So that should run. I'm just going to zoom out of this page. It's not in, it'll run when I save it, but there you go. That's how you add the video. Same effect, Gary. So using looping, use the external hosted option and get the URL of your video. You can just upload it into your WordPress site and use it that way. So it's an uploaded video and get the URL as well. Or you can upload it into your WordPress site and find the URL where it's stored and use it that way. So yes, it does work. Let's go. After downloading OptimizePress as a plugin, do you activate plugins such as Akismet or anti-spam, or are they already included in OptimizePress? I'll let you answer that one, Kev, if you like. Are you still using anti?
Yeah, we have the integration with Google reCAPTCHA, which protects all OptimizePress forms on your site. So there's not really a huge need to use third-party anti-spam tools, but if you do want to protect the default login forms from spam, then you could use something like that. Typically, what I do is I use a plugin called WPS Hide Login, and you can actually change your login URL to something custom, and that kind of cuts down on the bots that are trying to hack your site from even finding your login form. Right? And then as far as like contact forms, opt-in forms, checkout forms, any other forms we have, if you use the Google reCAPTCHA integration, that'll work. I don't know if you want to show that on your screen, Dave, but I think it's under OptimizePress and settings.
Just go from there. I was going to close some browsers down, but let's close those pages. Okay, here it is. Look, reCAPTCHA. So we're in OptimizePress settings. You've got reCAPTCHA. You might still, it doesn't work on blog posts, comments, does it? So it works for your pages and things. Akismet was mostly used initially for the comment spam.
For comment spam. I think that would still be a good plugin. I don't think it interferes with anything that OptimizePress does.
Yes, you need to put in your site key and your secret key. So you get your reCAPTCHA code. You sign up for reCAPTCHA here, and you can go through the steps. It's real straightforward to set up. You get a key, a site key, and a secret key, and that then activates it on your site. So you get reCAPTCHA enabled, which is pretty good. And you can also hide the banner, I think, that they put that shows at the bottom corner. I can't remember where. Maybe this actually activate. No, that's activate. There's an option, isn't there, to hide the little banner somehow with a bit of CSS code as well, I think, because it shows. So that was from Kelly, that question. And so that's one we reckon for comment spam is just turning on. You only really find you'll get a lot of that once your blog's getting traffic and people are finding your site. This is from Yukari. If I pronounced that correctly, I signed up for OptimizePress and have never used it. I have a number of memberships, but I have not been successful in linking them all together. Can you help? Yes, we can help, but probably not on this webinar. What I would say is, obviously being on this webinar, if you're on here, I'm not even checked. Go through a lot of our tutorials in our help desk, start there, go through our webinars, go through our courses we've got inside of OptimizePress, go through the onboarding we have. But your probably best bet is just to initially start with, the videos that you get inside our members area when you join to get you set up and running, get installed. I don't know, Kev, do you have a specific tutorials that you would start with watching? I suppose just going to the help center.
Actually, I think you recently uploaded a course in the OP University that goes through the whole process.
Yeah, I've done quite a few courses recently. There's it shows you sort of you've obviously already got to have WordPress installed. It depends if you're doing like if you want to get with Optimize Mentor and use memberships. There's a course for that. So yeah, if you've got, it says you've got a number of memberships. I'm assuming there you've got other membership programs already set up. So that would probably be go through the OptimizePress University and go look at the mentor course we've got. It's how you can build membership sites.
Yeah, I can share my screen real quick if you want.
Yeah, if you're logged in, that'd be great.
And mine will look a little bit different because I use a dark mode plugin on my browser. So, but basically, once you're logged in, on the left side, you'll see the blue button that says University. So we'll just click on that, and you'll be able to see every. It looks like they just changed some things in here. Okay.
Is it further down? Have you watched it already? Underneath where it says continue.
I think it's this last one here. How to sell online courses with mentor and checkouts. So you have, it'll show you how to set up Optimize Mentor and checkouts and how to sell your course and everything. So I highly recommend this course. I've actually watched it myself and it's pretty good. So
we can
I highly recommend that. It will answer a lot of questions and put a lot of things together for you.
So you carry if it's just memberships you want to get started with, go and watch that. If you're using OptimizePress as a landing page platform and stuff, and you've never used that, then you're probably going to want to go through our initial getting started videos and help desk or help center articles to get your first page up and running and things. But it'd be great to know which stage you're at. I know you've also answered a few other questions, so I'm just going to go through those as well. This one will Kev's kind of just. Are there any security plugins?
You also have these on-demand classes. This is where all of our
the webinars,
class webinars are at. So you can see there's course and membership here. We got a couple of things here for the mentor plugin and how to create a membership homepage, basically. So there's a lot of things here in the university. I'd recommend us going through there and clicking through some things and see if anything there is able to help.
The on-demand stuff are all the webinars that we've recorded. I think they're sort of good webinars that are on good topics. Let me go back to my screen. Where are we at? We here. Okay. Next question is, are there any security plugins that are incompatible with other plugins? It depends. For that one, it depends what security plugin you're using. Sorry, Kev, did you say you use one, or is that just the URL hiding the login page?
I've used quite a few different security plugins, and what I have found is they pretty much all work fine. But you have to kind of watch what settings you're using within those plugins, because there's some settings that could lock down your site so tight that OptimizePress won't work. And it's not really a bug in their plugin or OptimizePress. It's just you have to really be careful what you use. And I mean, the same goes for caching plugins and optimization plugins. You really got to watch what settings you're using, and you really want to know what you're doing and understand those settings before you turn them on, because some of those things could break
some of the security plugins.
Either our editor, or it could cause integration communication to not work because the security plugin might be blocking the HTTP communication. So like if somebody opts into Aweber on a list, they might not even get added because the security plugin is blocking that communication. So there's a lot of things you got to watch out for, but security plugins are good. I mean, WordFence and iTheme Security are the two that we see the most common that are used. WordFence. So the firewall on WordFence, you got to leave it in learning mode sometimes to if you have an issue with the editor. But I mean, they're good plugins. I don't use them personally, because I always find that some settings just get in the way. And the biggest thing about security is make sure you're using good passwords and keep all of your plugins and themes and WordPress updated.
And you don't use LastPass.
I mean, there's always some things that you can do for security, but you don't want to get into too many of those kind of things if you're just starting out with WordPress, because they could really cause you a lot of confusion and frustration.
Yeah, until you get a lot of articles, which, well, you might have a lot of content and stuff that's at risk of being deleted. But if you're running backups and things, I don't know what else you're going to be storing on your site. It depends what the content is or how secure it should be, but there shouldn't be anything. Just be careful with what you're locking down. That is a good point. I did just switch to the styles and scripts so you can. This allows you to enable external or third-party plugins, and you can choose ones. So if any of you ever install a plugin and it doesn't work, you can come here and tell it to work on your site, on the front end and the back end of the page builder of OptimizePress and things. So you can, if you've got a plugin that's not functioning like you think it should be, come in here and tell it to, right, I want to turn on the JavaScript and the CSS for that plugin so that it functions inside the builder, or for the person visiting the site. So it's worth noting this area, scripts and styles, is where you can come and turn on CSS and JavaScript for individual plugins. As you can see, I don't have any installed in this, but that's where you can go for that. Let's go another one. I think there was another one from you, Carrie. Okay, this was slightly longer. It's a notification, Kev, that we get seen if you're using a page which has a feature that's not part, or if you don't have Optimize Mentor installed and you try to use a course page. So this applies to anyone. If you pick one of our templates and you see a message like this that says administrator notification, this page contains an OptimizePress course button element, but you're seeing this notification because the Optimize Mentor plugin is not currently active, or the current page is not a course page. So install and activate the Mentor plugin. So if you're seeing this, you need to firstly activate. So go into the dashboard and activate Optimize Mentor on your site. If you don't have Optimize Mentor, then you want to upgrade to the OptimizePress suite so that you're using a page or a template which is compatible with Optimize Mentor. You can see it here. So if you have the OptimizePress suite account, come here and install and activate Optimize Mentor, and that page you're using will then, that error will not be seen, or you can put a course button in place of that error. Usually those errors tell you what element to put in front of it. So in this example, telling you to install and activate and make sure the current page is a course page. So that's what it's saying. And if you haven't got the OptimizePress suite, then you can upgrade to the suite if you want all these other plugins and stuff to work with your site. I don't know if your Carrie is on here. Let's have a look.
Usually, I think if they don't have the suite plan, those templates
that's what I was thinking.
Anyways. So probably it just needs to activate the Mentor plugin or make sure it's on a course page. There's also the legacy membership templates in the template selector that you could use that are not using those elements.
Yes. And it's like checkouts as well, right? The checkout elements only appear in the element menu when you've got checkouts installed.
Exactly.
Okay, another one. Let's see what the time is. Okay, we'll do a couple more. We've got 9 o'clock. I've set up an integration between my Ontraport and OptimizePress accounts. Gosh, it's been a long time since I've heard the word Ontraport. God, I didn't realize they're still running. I guess they are doing great, hopefully.
Yeah.
But
so I want to say with Ontraport, you're going to be using a form.
It's got to be
from Ontraport, and then your sequence and tags should be added through that in Ontraport. So, Robin, if you want to send us a ticket on this,
the integration doesn't.
You're welcome to ask for me.
Kev, I think it never did. It doesn't show we don't show it in the connection doesn't allow us to show those tags right inside of our builder. So
Yeah, I'm not sure if it does or not, to be honest. I don't even have that integration set up. I'm just looking on my site
I've
here.
not even visited.
We could definitely
Yeah.
help out with this.
So Robin, reach out to us in support. Put Ontraport in the subject line. Ontraport webinar or something. Gosh, I want to go and check Ontraport out and see what this site's like. I did used to use Ontraport, like, I don't know how many years ago that was.
Yeah, I know they've made some improvements, because I think I hear about Ontraport and support maybe once a year, and like every time I try to go in there to help somebody, it's like almost a different UI every time I go in there, and like can never find anything.
Yeah, it's looking like Infusionsoft or Keep, the sales page. Yeah, I've not seen that for a while. So Ontraport was quite big in years and years back, but anyway, there you go. Reach out, we can have a look at it, but you might find that you can't do what you're trying to do with Ontraport.
I'm more of an active campaign Aweber drip kind of user.
Yeah,
myself.
I've been switching. I'm using BirdSend at the moment, which is brilliant. And yeah, great little app. Quite liking that. Okay, Alex, why is it that payment gateways do not favor African community? We need WooCommerce and Paystack to bring millions of users to OptimizePress. Well, WooCommerce, Paystack, is that another? I take it that's just another payment provider, right? Let's have a look. Paystack, it's like a PayPal.
I'm not too familiar with it.
So Alex, we get so many requests for different types of payment platforms in different areas, and because the payment development work is so big, it's sometimes not. We get so many requests, but there's still not a big enough audience that wants to use a particular payment gateway. And we know that PayPal and Stripe are obviously just huge, and they're flexible with what countries we want to get to. But I do appreciate that some of the people still aren't even on Stripe, although they're expanding more and more. I'm just looking at Paystack here. Yeah, so
I think we're looking at adding a couple more payment gateways for some areas that are not well served by the ones we have.
There's a big one in India and Brazil. I can't remember what they were. I've not heard of this one, but it's one we can add to the list. And I do agree that it's crazy. Sometimes you think of all these areas that've got people coming on the internet, and they're not. So Paystack, it says here, Paystack is backed by Stripe, Visa, and Y Combinator. So I don't know if that means it's been funded by them, but it makes you wonder if there's not already an integration. But I'm just looking here, so it's anyway. Yeah, we'll add it to the list, Alex. We get a lot of different requests for different payment gateways. So I'm not sure about WooCommerce. They might already do it as well. So check, because we have our own sort of WooCommerce is a shopping cart, but they might already have a plugin for Paystack. So it's probably worth looking. In fact, I will just do a quick check for you just while I've got the page open here. Let's go Paystack plugin. And I will just drop that on the screen here because there's a Paystack WooCommerce payment gateway here. I don't know what that is for WordPress. Payments for Paystack WooCommerce. So maybe they already do integrate with WooCommerce. So it might be worth checking that, Alex. If I was just going to put WordPress, see if I could drill down a bit further. So Paystack. Yeah. Anyway, have a look. There's a few articles there you can see. Let's go on to the next one. How can I add a blog to my existing OptimizePress website from Manish? So Manish, I probably won't go into this one too much because we've just we've done quite a few questions on the blogging. Yeah, you want to make sure you've got your theme activated. So appearance, themes, or download from here, the smart theme on the right, you can see. You can install and activate that. Or if you already got a theme, a theme that you like, or if it's one you're buying or one you've downloaded, you can add it here as well. And then the main things are really the switching that header option template I showed earlier. That's a key thing to know. And checking the pages, whether you can use the home page of your website or a blog page. So make sure you have a standard blog page built in WordPress that's called blog, and select that in the settings. I don't think, there's not really much more we can go into that. So every WordPress site you set up has a blog. WordPress, is a blogging platform. If you've got an OptimizePress website built already, then you can go and to start blogging by creating the page. Where you post, you actually go to posts is where you add new blog posts. That's the only thing we didn't say earlier. So you actually add new posts under this section. You go into all posts and you just add posts. If you do get into blogging, you can actually customize your post pages with the OptimizePress builder. So that's one powerful feature of OptimizePress, is that you can style how your blog posts look using the page builder. So they look, completely different to you can style them to look however you like. But you can use the page builder to style actual pages in your blog, or you can just use your default theme layout. So that's just a couple of things worth noting, but that's all in here is where you add your posts. Okay. I don't think there's much I can go into that one anymore. Hopefully the other questions we had prior will help with that. Scott says, how do I add a gradient to the text of a headline? Well, I was going to say with lots of CSS, but have we got an element coming out for that, Kev? I don't know if you know. I believe we have.
I believe we do
I'm
have
not sure if it's
something
been tested.
Yeah.
I know we spoke about this a couple of weeks back in the team, but I know there's talk of it. So you can do it with CSS, but it's too technical to even try and explain on here. But you have to outline the text. It is doable, or you could probably style it externally and just put it in as an HTML block into a page. So you create the CSS and the heading as a separate block of code, and you use the HTML block to style it in. You can use classes and things that are on a headline element, but I know we're working on a gradient feature. I'm not sure when it's coming out, but I know it was spoken about recently. So yeah, Scott, that's a hard one. You can do it with CSS, but if you're patient enough, there is a feature coming out, because it's quite common. It's quite a lot of the, I don't want to say crypto sites, but a lot of the modern sites are using gradient fonts and things, which is quite nice, or even just on one letter and one word even. Sorry. I will, if I hear any more about that, Scott, when it's coming out or anything, we can come back to you on that. Let's have a look. We've got last question here from Ricky. Does OP have the ability to allow users to set up your own affiliate program? If not, do you have any plugins that you recommend that are priced well and work really well? I think we've answered this one earlier.
Yeah, this goes back to that. Question. I think it's like the first or second one we answered.
We had,
I think, right?
Yeah, whatever it was about. Yeah, so we don't have it built in. We are looking to integrate with another, a leading platform. So yeah, the other one's a WP affiliate is one you can just go and set up and run. There's a few of them that work differently. They have different features. Some people just end up going to like a SaaS platform and using that and trying to sell their own products, or some of your shopping carts have it built in as well. So it's there's so many options with what you want to do with your affiliate stuff. There's it depends again what products and things you're selling, if they're physical, and how you're tracking and everything. But yeah, we hopefully will have an integration out soon for it. Okay.
By the way, I just did check. I checked our beta version, the latest one, and it looks like the way that the gradient text will work is if you highlight the text, you can choose a color, and there's options for gradients in there.
Okay.
So maybe that'll be out with the next update, hopefully.
Nice. We've got two questions. I'm conscious of time. Look, we're 15 minutes over as well. So I've got 2 questions here we'll answer, and then we'll wrap it up from Colin and Gian Marco. So Colin says, let's have a look. Let's answer this one. Colin says, we want a simple membership site to offer musical tutorials. Is there a need to use Wishlist Member or is there a need to use Wishlist Member if you have OptimizePress for membership site? If so, what would be the recommended OP theme? So Colin, yeah, if you're using OptimizePress and you've got the OptimizePress suite plan, you then have access to Optimize Mentor. So there's no need to use Wishlist at all. Wishlist is a great plugin, but if you're, depending on the size of your current memberships, how big they are, you might find that you've got an established membership platform already up and running, then you might only want to use Optimize Mentor for new stuff, new members or new courses that you make. So it depends on how established your membership, tutorials and music tutorials already are. If you're starting out from scratch, then you don't need Wishlist. You could use Optimize Mentor and do it that way. And there is no really recommended theme because you can style and design your own pages to look exactly how you like. So that I don't know. I don't have a recommended theme for that. I don't know if Kevin does, but I would just build my own pages based off exactly what I wanted them to look like, and that's the power you have.
Yeah, I would just build it. I just build it in the Mentor plugin because we have the course builder there.
Yes, you can.
Which honestly works. In my opinion, the styling is a lot better than any other LMS plugin because it's so flexible. A lot of other LMS plugins, learning management plugins, they require that you have a certain WordPress theme in order to have. They build on top of that, but that's not how ours works. You can just customize anything you want in the Mentor plugin as far as the design goes, and we have dynamic fields like course and lesson buttons and dynamic text and everything, so you can pull in a lot of details automatically. So when you clone a lesson, all you really have to do is add the content for that lesson, just like you would with another LMS plugin, and then you'll be set. So it's quite easy to use in that sense.
I didn't realize that they restrict your some of them actually tell you to use a specific theme. I didn't realize some of them are like that, but
yeah, like with like LearnDash, for example, you have to have a compatible theme. You can't just use any theme with that either. It's got to be a theme that works well with LearnDash. So you got to go buy LearnDash, then you got to go buy a Wishlist Member, then you got to go buy a premium WordPress theme. And by the time you're done with it, it's going to cost you $800 a year just to have it.
Already sounds too complicated.
So, I mean, if you use OptimizePress, you're going to save a boatload of money.
Platform. So this is Colin. I'm inside a course here. You can see, look. So this is just a course layout. Lessons been added to the course, and the builder is just like our builder. You just open it up and style it exactly. There's a few templates, but you could. If I was you, I would build something that looks, decent yourself, and then just build it to look however you like. Optimize it for mobile as well, and then just start cloning your pages once you've got a set design. That's the easiest way to do it. I wouldn't faff around with too many different themes and things. This is a template we've got, but you could just use any template. You could build, if you build your own, it's going to look more unique to your brand and stuff. So this is using Optimize Mentor that I'm in here. Hopefully that answers that one. Let's go on to the next one. Gian Marco, is there a way to make the opt-in forms integrate with Google Address so that your address auto types? Sorry to click that. So your address auto types as the user types in their address. So that would be probably in the checkout option. I don't know if we don't have it at the moment, and you probably could do an API with Google Address, but yeah, we don't have it built in at the moment for this one. Whether it's coming in the new version, I actually don't know, but I know the feature you mean. One thing to be aware of is that the Google Address API feature, it only works on the fact that if Google have updated their database based off the addresses they're using. So just be aware of that. The reason is because I know that there's certain postcodes, especially in our country, we have postcodes that get turned inactive. And even though Royal Mail still register those postcodes on their website, Google don't recognize them as being active. So you have an issue where someone can auto-complete an address, but the address is actually still not a live active address, and it switches. So it depends if you're using things like delivery modules and things for your addresses. I'm not sure, but yes, we don't integrate with it. But something I'm going to check, something worth note actually for the future checkout integrations, because it is nice to have that autocomplete. It's becoming more and more common, we're seeing. There might be a plugin as well. I don't know if you know anything, Kev. There might be a plugin for that. So I don't. Yeah.
I honestly never heard of that.
So you'd notice it if you're filling out, if you're buying something like from a Shopify site. Most of the Shopify sites have the auto address complete. You just type in your postcode or your first line, it just starts auto. It searches your location. That's what that is. And same, Gian Marco's asked another question. You sneaked a question in there, which we'll quickly answer. Also, are we able to add categories and tags using the OP Builder on blog page to navigate from blog post to blog post and have it work the same way as it does when built in a theme? Or does that need to be custom made using links? Yeah, tags. Now, tags are the same. It doesn't matter what theme you've got, unless there's a real specific theme. But when you use tags in the tags are actually part of WordPress. They're nothing to do with OptimizePress or the themes. They're part of WordPress. So when you tag posts inside of WordPress, those tags, if they show on your theme, or you can usually get a plugin to show them or the widget to show them, but that tag is part of WordPress. So you can tag articles and then you can make them clickable. Yeah, that's all built into actual WordPress infrastructure. It's not part of the it's not part of our theme or the OP Builder. There's nothing to do with that. So every blog post you write, it used to be popular tagging. I don't think they're massively used now at the moment. They're quite good for sort of organizational structure, even if you're just trying to find posts. I guess they're probably used on affiliate sites and stuff, but a lot of the blogs I read, they don't show any tags or anything on them. Whether they have them in the back end, they might, but I don't ever see them as a clickable way to navigate. That doesn't mean you can't do it on your site though. So, but yes, that is all part of the.
Yeah, if you create a blog post with OptimizePress, you wouldn't add the tags and categories within the editor of OptimizePress. After you close the editor, the default WordPress editor screen will show up where you would be able to add those categories and tags.
Yeah, so we can just quickly. Yeah, look, we've got tags here.
Or you can go into quick edit there also on the post screen, like David
you've
showing.
got tags here. These are your categories. So you'd see your categories, and then you can add in tags like so. I think you can comma separate them. Yeah, and then when you save that, that will be a new tag. Update. You can see, look, it's just called tags. So that's how you can do them. But yeah, they're part of the WordPress infrastructure. Kev, I think we'll wrap it up there. We've pushed on for like an extra 20 minutes. We check if I think we've answered all those questions. Yeah. Should we? Yeah.
A lot of great
questions, a lot of affiliate questions and stuff, but some awesome stuff from people. So yeah, we'll wrap it up there because we appreciate you obviously your time. It's now 9:30 here in the UK, and it is it's dark outside. It's dark outside from about 4 o'clock at the moment, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, Kev, thanks for being on. Thanks everyone for joining us. We'll let you go. We'll get this. Will be recorded. We'll get it uploaded as well onto our YouTube channels. You can look back over and link to the questions and things. But we appreciate you coming on. So thanks everyone who's submitted questions prior, and just for being here and being involved and listening in. Hope you've learned something from the Kevin, the master tech that he is, and he'll show you everything you need to know about WordPress next time you're on. But we'll wrap it there then, Kev. Yeah, thanks for being on again, mate. Much appreciated.
Yep,
nice to hear your voice again. You're not answering any questions. Just check you're not answering anything. I take it you're not, private messages from people and stuff. We can close it up there. What I'll do is brilliant. We'll get this one recorded, and yeah, we'll see you for the next. We'll probably do this, I think, next month, Kev. We'll do one a month at the moment, or I think it's sort of working about that.
Yeah, monthly.
Yeah,
That works
see if
pretty
we've
good.
got enough questions for the next time. Brilliant. Okay, right. Well, we'll see you all soon, and thanks again for being here. Kev, I will speak to you soon. Bye for now.
All right. Later.